White Bear Lake has enjoyed steady leadership over the decades, but there are some new faces to the city. We'll meet the new city manager, plus hear from two sides about a divisive issue facing residents and business owners. Welcome to Lake Area Beat. I'm Tracy
And I'm Kurt Friesen. Well, we've been inside for 2 episodes.
Two whole episodes. And there have been cold days, both right. Those times. Hopefully, normally we're outside freezing.
Yeah, hopefully that continues when we have bad weather. So.
We have a great producer and we love her. So thank you for being inside. The Purple Line, formerly known as the Rush Line, is a project that's been in the works for years. But more recently, a group has organized to try and stop the line from happening for a variety of reasons.
Ridership seems to be at its core, as our production team discovered. People are passionate one way or the other.
In my opinion, but opinions matter.
Less than 1 month before White Bear Lake's elections last fall.
We got no parking. And they're trying to put
Terry Kellerman, owner of Kellerman's Event Center in The Alchemist, opened his doors to host a public forum discussing the Purple Line Rapid Transit Bus project, and opinions were rolling fast and furious.
It's time to take the pork out of this pig, the Rush Line.
With over 200 attendees, those who spoke voiced opposition for the line to move forward. But a resolution to pause the project brought before the council in November failed to pass.
Councilmembers Bean?
Aye.
Engstrand?
Nay.
Walsh?
No.
Edberg?
Aye. The motion fails.
Ramsey County Commissioner Victoria Reinhardt, a staunch supporter of the line, formerly called the Rush Line, says at this point a pause is not possible.
Because this is now in the federal process. It's no longer at the local level.
The No Rush Coalition, a group of concerned citizens led by longtime White Bear Lake resident Tim David, says they have many concerns. The 15-mile route will run from St. Paul's Union Depot to White Bear Lake, where 89 buses will run down Highway 61 each weekday. David says the group doesn't believe the ridership is there. In the aftermath of the pandemic, ridership has fallen by 60% on local bus routes and 95% on express bus routes, according to the Met Council. And Route 265, which made 8 stops in White Bear Lake, was discontinued in 2020. Results from a ridership study by the University of Minnesota are due to the legislature early next year.
We're looking forward to an objective analysis by the University of Minnesota and our others to determine what the design should be before they go too far. We certainly don't want them putting in infrastructure before they can confirm what those real ridership numbers would look like.
Commissioner Reinhardt says ridership assessment is part of a rigorous process at the federal level, which will be addressed, and believes it would be unfortunate for White Bear Lake not to benefit from the line if city leaders vote against it.
We do have a viable project even without White Bear Lake. I think that it would be a shame because of all of the things that would not happen in White Bear Lake. Plus, people talk about the fact that we want to go further north. Well, if you can't get to White Bear Lake, you can't get to Hugo, you can't get to Forest Lake, and that's part of this system. I mean, our taxpayers are going to pay it anyway. Why wouldn't they want to get the benefit of it?
But paying is what opponents are concerned about. The Purple Line is projected to cost $475 million, with about $237 million being paid through federal funding and Ramsey County paying the rest. But people are worried that number may increase, citing the Southwest Line, which added another $450 to $550 million to its $2 billion price tag.
it's something that we don't want and we don't need, and that money is huge money. And obviously with the thing they got going down in the southern metro down there, some of the press is calling it a boondoggle. And
opponents are also concerned about the loss of parking, the influx of traffic on 61, and disruption of the Bruce Vento Trail, but Commissioner Reinhardt says the buses will add little to the traffic and the trail will be improved.
Not only will the Bruce Vento Trail not be destroyed, it will actually be enhanced. It will have smoother pavement, it will have native plantings, it will have all kinds of attributes that aren't currently there right now.
Of the 103 businesses we've talked to, 100 of those businesses oppose it and have offered to put signs in their windows and or sign our petition. So that's pretty significant. And
David says nearly all of the businesses the coalition has approached from Maplewood to White Bear Lake oppose the line, but not all do.
No, you shouldn't.
Dale Graham-Bush, a farmer's insurance agent operating in downtown for 30 years, sees the line as an opportunity.
Public transportation is important to a community because it helps bring people into the community. It also helps bring people who live in the community a chance to, if they don't have a vehicle or maybe don't want to have a vehicle, a way to still get around town.
He also believes ridership numbers will come back and thinks BRT riders may bring business to the downtown. Construction may begin as early as 2024. The No Rush Coalition is open to alternatives, and invested business owners like Kellerman hope it's not too late to put the brakes on the process.
I mean, if you're giving somebody something that they don't want and don't need and spending a bunch of their own money to do it, why?
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out at the council level.
Yep. Polar Plunge celebrated its 21st year on White Bear Lake and raised big money for the cause.
Last year, plungers raised about $87,000, and this year, drum roll please, they raised $190,000. That's incredible.
It is.
And I've talked about plunging over the years, and we know that I love it. I love jumping into the frozen lake. You not so much, but our departments play a role at the Polar Plunge. And for the police department, we are kind of a security, traffic, direction, maintaining safety for everybody. And the fire department.
Yeah, so we always have crews on standby. We have our ambulance on site. We have other equipment available as needed. So our main role is any kind of injury or medical that happens, on the way to the events, at the events, on the way leaving the event. We're there for anyone if there's any injury or illness. We also have a really good working relationship with the Ramsey County Water Patrol, who operate in the water. So if they had any needs from us for water rescue, we're there to assist as well.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's a really
awesome.
good working relationship between multiple agencies that we have.
And we have a lot of EMS folks out there.
Correct.
To make sure everybody is safe. So
Yep,
well done by everybody that was out there working.
absolutely. It was
Thank
a fun
you.
day from what everyone I've talked to, they enjoyed it thoroughly. So.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, but coming up,
Sergeant John Betty joins us to talk about money scams. We're in the heart of tax season, and that means open season for criminals. But we've got a secret weapon to help combat fraud. Sergeant John Betty, thanks for being here.
Hello, great to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate it because it is tax season coming up, and the IRS warns of an increase in scams. Can you tell us, do we see those scams in White Bear, and what kind of IRS scams do we see?
Yeah, that's a great question. Unfortunately, we see these scams everywhere, and scammers will capitalize on the fact that it's tax season. So what they'll do is they'll play into people's fears because, right now people are trying to get all their documents together. Some people don't realize when tax day is and when taxes are due because with the pandemic, that got moved around a little bit. And so they'll send out things like text messages or robo phone calls where computers are basically talking. Or emails saying, you missed documentation, you didn't file for taxes, you owe us money. Or they might go the opposite way and say, you're getting an extra refund. you missed one of your stimulus payments that we want to get to you. The scammers will just try to do something to bridge communication, to get you connected, and then from there, there's one of many ways that they try to get valuable information from you and then ultimately take money from you. And so unfortunately, we have seen this, in White Bear Lake. I wouldn't say it's any worse here than anywhere else, but scammers are patient and they're remote. They're from all over the world, and they'll take their time and try to build trust in people and make it seem like it's legitimate. And so one of the big ways that they get to people is that they say, in order to give you money or to collect your overdue payments, we need to get your name, your address, your date of birth, maybe even social security number, and then a checking account, or particularly a debit card or credit card number. And, people think, well, the IRS is probably reaching out to people. Maybe this is the case. Or the second thing they'll do is they'll say, can you go buy some sort of a prepaid card, like a Green Dot Money Pack card or a Vanilla Visa card, which are basically credit cards that you put money on, and then as soon as you give the number that's usually on the back of the card, a little scratch-off number, that money transfers to the scammers. And then people are left high and dry. They lose money, sometimes goes overseas. It's almost impossible to trace or get back. And so people got to be very vigilant. And they have to know, and maybe you've heard this before, but the IRS, they don't email people right off the bat. They don't send text messages for sure. They don't have computers leaving voicemail on people's cell phone numbers. They will always start by writing up a formal letter if there's a problem, or if there's money due. They'll send out a letter first. Now, they may occasionally call on the back end, but that's only after formal documentation comes forth. And then the other thing I want to talk about is that sometimes these scammers will make threats. They'll say, if you don't pay this now, we're going to call the local police. We're going to send out IRS agents. We're going to have the FBI come and arrest you. You might lose your job and all your money. We're going to drain your bank accounts. And so they pry on people's fears, and then they also make time of the essence. They want things done quick because they know that if you stop and think, if you call your accountant, if you maybe talk to a family member, you're going to think, this is probably a scam. And then you're not going to go through with it. So that's another warning sign or a red flag, is if they're really asking you, you need to do this now, you need to do this quick,
Try to keep
stop.
you on the phone too, so you don't hang
Absolutely.
up and talk to somebody else.
There's been scammers that literally will keep people on the phone, guiding them to the nearest Walgreens or Walmart. They'll go on Google and they'll look up businesses nearby and keep them on the phone, telling them what kind of card to buy, how much to load onto one of these prepaid cards, and then, if you follow this, we won't arrest you, or you'll get your refund, and things like that, which is too bad. And we think of scamming victims as often senior citizens. It definitely can be, but we've seen victims of all ages and walks of life. It's not just senior citizens that are being targeted with this, because, hey, let's face it, we're all busy. We got lives. Maybe we did miss something in our taxes. And so people think, this is a possibility. And if they don't stop and think that this is most likely a scam, they could easily fall victim to this.
Now, what if you're not sure? And what if, you think you might have something coming? What should people do?
That's a great question. So the IRS on their website here, and I printed some stuff out, you can actually contact them. You can forward any kind of contact or take a screenshot of a text message or forward an email to, they got an address called phishing. It's phishing at irs.gov. Or there's an online scam reporting form that you can fill out, or you can simply call them. I know we don't always like to wait on hold with some of the government agencies out there, and they're probably pretty busy because, with COVID, a lot of things are remote. But if you call 1-800-366-4484, that's the phone number where you can actually speak to somebody and say, hey, did the IRS try to reach out to me? Am I missing something, or am I being scammed? And most likely you'll find out you're being scammed as well. And people can always call their local police department too. We have officers who are more advanced or kind of experts on different scams and frauds, and we can kind of help guide through that and maybe answer some questions. But the IRS actually has, there's so much of this going on that they've set up procedures to weed this out. And plus, they want to know about it. They want to know when people are scamming them. They actually ask for the evidence so that they can have resources, try to look for the source of this stuff, figure out where it's coming from, and try to crack down on it as much as they reasonably can.
We're running out of time, but quickly, you kind of touched on it. We're doing a lot of things remotely because of COVID. We're sending things, a lot of e-commerce. People are getting packages too. Are we seeing package thefts in White Bear Lake?
Yeah, that's something that's happening. It increases during the holiday season, but it can happen any time of the year. People notice that a package is delivered somewhere, they wait for the truck to leave, and then they go up and steal it. I can't say it's not happening here any more than anywhere else, or any more than it was last year, but it's still a concern. And so we always suggest to people, if you can leave notes as to where to put the package, the delivery person can sometimes put it behind a pillar or somewhere that's kind of hidden. We also suggest that people try to watch out for the packages, bring them into their house as soon as they can. I've heard of some places having package drop-offs, like UPS locations, where you actually go and pick it up at a secure location. And just watch out for that, because people do steal packages, and we don't want that to happen to anybody out there as well.
Right. A lot of great information. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Want everybody to stay safe. White Bear Lake recently welcomed a new face to the role of city manager. Producer Mary Klein had a chance to spend some time with her, and she talked about her plans for her position.
It's been wonderful. Everyone in the community and in the organization and City Council has been very welcoming.
As Morris City Administrator and Public Utilities Manager for more than 3.5 years,
Is that when we had a fire on your birthday?
Lindy Crawford wasn't looking for a change.
It's got wonderful bones.
Yet when she saw White Bear Lake was hiring after Ellen Heinecker announced her retirement, she recognized she'd found a good thing. She applied and was hired from a pool of 33 applicants.
I saw that White Bear had come up and know that it's a wonderful place to work and has a very good line of city managers, and they've been here for a while, so knew that the organization must be doing something right.
Crawford, with her parents by her side, was sworn in as city manager during January 11th City Council meeting.
I, Lindy Crawford,
do solemnly swear
that
I sat down with her after she'd been on the job for a little over a month, still learning the issues and learning names.
Yeah, will you call Greg?
While on her tour, she made some connections identifying people and places in common with members of the fire department.
My dad lives in Cross Lake.
Oh, really? So does mine.
Oh.
Yeah. Where in Cross Lake?
She says connecting with the community is her priority, choosing to relocate here to do just that.
I think what makes a city manager successful is being able to engage with the community, be down to earth, be involved in the community.
Crawford grew up in Austin, Minnesota, and after graduating with a master's degree from Minnesota State University Mankato, she spent a year in Edina with their fellowship program, then was city administrator of Tonka Bay for 3 years before taking the position in Mora.
The community is really a good combination of Tonka Bay and Mora. I have that lake experience working with those living on Lake Minnetonka. And I felt that this would be a good, just a good mesh for me, that the community would fit me and I would also fit this community.
And though she knows there's much to live up to following the leadership of the previous managers, she plans to build upon the existing foundation, relying on existing staff and working as a team.
It's about mutual respect, and that's something that this council has always had. So really, I just want to, build on that. I don't know if there's anything I want to come in and change at this point, but just continue to make White Bear and as the best community it can be.
And it looks like you made it into the story.
Yeah, I know Mary and the crew with Lindy, they all stopped by the office and the station and made their way through the department, so it was good to see everyone. I always enjoy when Mary makes her impromptu visits in my office, so it's one of those things, you never know what you're going to get. But yeah, no, I always like participating in the stories, and it was a nice visit.
Nice. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Stay tuned. There's more Lake Area Beat coming up after the break.
Local students are taking advantage of our Lake Area Beat crew when they're not feverishly planning for the show.
And we mean that in the best way possible. Take a look.
Okay, hey, camera 2, can you make it a wide shot?
Oh, that? Okay.
Do a cowboy show.
Hello, my name is Grace and welcome to Century Today.
I'm so excited to get into these topics with our distinguished guests.
It's fun seeing the progress. I mean, even I can see it, which is fun, because sometimes I feel like you don't always see it yourself. But just knowing, like, the first day, I remember us scrambling, and none of us knew what we were doing. It's awesome seeing how, like, great we all work together, and, like, switching the cameras around and get everything set up, and, like, oh, we have a minute to spare, we're good. I like that a lot.
They're coming along. They're still a little rough, but we've got a couple more rehearsals, so I think it'll come together.
I've enjoyed doing stuff in the studio, running camera, running sound, and I've also enjoyed doing a lot of the camera work, you know, on the go, kind of watching it as well afterwards to see how it turned out.
Because we've been able to practice so much, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be kind of disappointed if all of us weren't getting the flow down. But like I said, once we knew our roles, it became more of a, okay, focus on your role, everyone has a job, we're good. So I wouldn't say I would be surprised at our growth. Practice makes perfect, right?
Lou's been very good. He's been very helpful of kind of showing us how things work, kind of also help us set things up as well. I'm really happy that Lou is here to kind of help us out.
So it's been a great time here, and I hope other students like this place too, because it's been such a great learning experience.
This is the spark of the future career, that's what I call it. SCC is the spark.
We may have some future crew members in the mix.
You never know, maybe a new co-host. I'm just kidding. But what I do know is we're out of time.
Thanks for watching this edition of Lake Area Beat.
We'll see you next time.
Riderships, like ships in the harbor,
Ships
yeah.
in the sea.
Yeah.
No, ridership. Just,
you know, it's because I have to be somewhere.
I know.
Does this mean we have to start like all over?
Probably. It's punishment.
I'm so sorry. We'll get there. You messed up on yours, so I just wanted to make sure that
I actually didn't.
you cleared out.
Nope, I
everything.
didn't. I'm making stuff up.
Why do you guys think you have so many outtakes?
I don't know. Because we're
Why are you looking over here?
I don't know. Because we're so professional. We get along well.
You know,
We get
it's
along very well.
about you know, just striving for perfection every time. And I'm just not there.
We don't take ourselves seriously, I think.